Today we're going to be looking at The Mysterious Bride by James Hogg. In The Mysterious Bride, we meet the Laird of Birkendelly, who is traveling from his home to a neighboring village on the eve of St. Lawrence. Along the way, at a spot called the Birkie Brow, he encounters a beautiful young woman who disappears shortly after he sees her. The Laird doesn't know what to make of it, but he knows that he has found his true love. When he encounters the young woman again, he speaks with her and vows to be hers forever. But when the day of their marriage arrives, tragedy strikes, and the apparition of the mysterious bride is never to be seen again. Alan George Sanderson is the Laird of Birkendelly. He is the protagonist of the story who becomes the final victim of the Sanderson curse. Mr. McMurdy is Alan's friend from Alton Village. Though he spots Alan at the Birkie Brow, he's not able to see the beautiful young woman that Alan sees. Captain Bryan is the husband to Mrs. Bryan, who is Alan's sister, and they live in Ireland, where Alan decides to visit on the advice of his doctor. Lady Luna, also known as Looney, is one of Captain Bryan's 7 unmarried sisters. She is the winner of the marriage competition among them. Jane Ogilvy is the name of the dreaded ghost. She had been the mistress to Alan's grandfather. Lucky Black is a retired nurse who cared for Alan and his sister when they were young. She dies horribly at the sight of Alan's engagement ring. Marion Haw is an old local Scotswoman who purportedly, as a child, witnessed the aftermath of Jane's murder in a thicket of birch and broom. Her grandfather, Neddy Haw, had told her to keep quiet about the matter. The Reverend Joseph Taylor reports on sightings of the young woman of the Birkie Brow. He and the townsfolk, together with McMurdy and old Marion Haw, scour the spot where Alan dies, where they uncover the moldering remains of Jane Ogilvy. When we meet the Laird of Birkendelly, he comes off as a happy-go-lucky guy. He's singing poems, he has friends who care about him, and he has family that he can turn to. But he doesn't seem like someone who deserves to die. It's unfortunate for him that he has inherited a curse which comes down through the paternal line. We are reminded of the sins of the father unto the 3rd and 4th generation. The real emphasis here, though, in my humble opinion, is a sense of overkill in the case of wrongdoing. The general point, I believe, is that we have to think about what we're doing with regard to our sins, lest we hurt not only ourselves, but the people we love as well. The effects of neglecting a proper burial is on display in The Mysterious Bride. As spiritual beings, we see funerary rites as critical to the well-being of our afterlives. It is a ceremony that defines us apart from every other living thing. It carries with it an immensely implied sense of demand for respect for the departed members of our society. And so it is that when a person is denied a burial rite, the chances stand that they might reach out from the afterlife to signal that something has gone wrong. In the case of the poor Laird of Birkendelly, his granddaddy has done him a double injustice, not only cursing him in light of a senseless murder, but by neglecting properly to respect the dead. The 7 Bryan sisters call to mind the 5 Bennett sisters of Pride and Prejudice. Women of the late 18th century often relied on marriage for their livelihood. Being unmarried could mean a rough life, and the 7 Bryan sisters were all alike willing to change that solitary and helpless state. The girls are seen vying for the hand of the laird, and we have a winner in the Lady Luna, which makes the whole thing come off as a lottery. But in the modern age, we view this as inequality, leading to the advent of feminism in people like Mary Wollstonecraft and Frances Wright. In The Mysterious Bride, we see the effects of growing trade relations with Ireland. Over in London, it was shortly after the Glorious Revolution that mercantile capitalism began to explode. With a shift developing in the way society was structured, the advent of shopping entered the mix. And in The Mysterious Bride, there was such shopping in the county town. It was so boundless that the credit of the hall was finally exhausted. The Mysterious Bride is perfect for discussing form versus content because the details of each here are so fitting for each other. The very real notion of having seen a ghost forces us to question our visual space. The moment when such a thing could happen could be regarded as fleeting and ephemeral. We're not sure what we saw. Likewise, when reading The Mysterious Bride, the quick pacing of the words and the transplanting of time with ethereal visions creates a similar effect as we're reading, often forcing us to go back and reread passages just to make sure we didn't miss anything. The phrases skip over each other from present moments to dreams and to the supernatural and back. Combining the story of a ghost sighting with a quickly paced, concise style induces the feeling that we're experiencing something otherworldly to a tangible degree. Have you ever seen a ghost? Didn't you have to look twice just to make sure you weren't imagining things? In 1770, James Hogg was born on a farm in Scotland, near the mountains of Ettrick and Yarrow, the son of a shepherd. He taught himself how to read at 18 and how to write at 26. By the time he was 40, his ambition was to leave farm life and pursue writing full-time. His first works were largely of the poetic form, and by the age of 47, he was well into writing prose fiction. His works are known for their countryside tradition mixed with fairy folklore, of which he wrote until his death in 1835. Because of his life as a shepherd near Ettrick, he has been known down the years of history as the Ettrick Shepherd.